Welcome. In this lecture, we will talk about some of the interesting concepts regarding animals, their feeding habits, how they breathe, how they move, what are the migration patterns, what is migration, and the concepts like that. Now, when we talk about feeding habits, let's understand some of the important examples along with the ways in which animals actually take their food. If we look close to our surrounding, we see cows. Now, you give some grass to the cow. What it would do is, it would take all the grass at once, and later sometimes you would see that cow sitting in a corner and doing a movement, and that is where it says it is called as cudding. In higher classes, you would understand animals who are ruminants actually have 4 stomachs. For example, cows. There are other animals similar to it. For example, buffaloes, who chew the cud. So when they are sitting idle, they would actually bring that things that they have eaten right away back to the mouth, cut it, chew it, digest it, and then send it to the other stomach. So they have 4 different stomachs, and that helps them perform the task of this cudding. These animals are known as ruminants. Cows, buffaloes, camels, goat, horses are good example. Some animals swallow. During the monsoon months, see lizard on the wall. It will just swallow the insect at once. Frog, similar in habit. Snakes, similar in habit. Crocodiles, similar in habit. Reptiles, primarily. Now, a snake would swallow the whole organism all at once. It can be a big organism like deer as well. And then it would sit dormant. While it is sitting dormant, not moving, it would digest that animal that it had swallowed. And that is a real different phenomena that we see. Some animals who are carnivores tear the flesh. For example, lion, tiger, cheetah are carnivorous animals that feed on flesh. The next is animals with gnaw. For example, rat, rabbits. We have squirrels. So they actually eat fruits, nuts, small grains. Some animals suck. Now this term is really interesting. Birds suck nectar. They have a long tube in the mouth which is known as proboscis, through which they suck. You also have mosquitoes which suck, but they don't suck nectar, they suck blood. So there are different feeding habits attached to different organisms. The next is movement. Now movement again is an interesting thing. Human beings move on 2 legs. Our ancestors, for example, monkeys, if we say, moved on 4 legs, but 2 of the limbs which are on the back side are called as hind limbs. The 2 in the front are called as forelimbs. So if you want to play with a child and you sit down like this, ask a child to sit on your back, what you would do? Your hand would become your forelimb, your legs become your hind limb. The same is for the animals that move on land. So the back 2 legs are the hind limbs, the front 2 legs are the forelimbs. Some of the animals run very fast. For example, cheetah, horse, they have a capability to run fast. That means they have their strong forelimbs and hind limbs. Some of the animals hop. Kangaroos hop. Now when they have a habit of hopping, they are more using their hind limbs rather than the front limbs. So their hind limbs are more strong for the animals which hop. Similarly, human beings use hind limb for walking, hind limb for holding and doing various kind of works. So we have understood movement based on this. Now, coming on to insects. Insects have 6 legs. Insects have 6 legs. Now these 6 legs are important. Most of the insects, the leg is used for movement. Some of the insects also have wings that they have. For example, cockroaches, if I take a simple example, cockroach have 6 legs, but they do have wings. You might have seen